Founded by Major League Baseball player Kurt Schilling, Studio 38 would live to publish one game. During development, Schilling managed to draw in notable fiction author R.A. Salvatore and Todd McFarlane of Spawn fame. But one game and one $75 million loan from the state of Rhode Island later, Studio 38 declared bankruptcy just 3 months after Kingdoms of Amalur released. Yet there is a remaster that was published by THQ Nordic, so that must mean that their failure wasn't the game's fault, right? Well, Kingdoms of Amalur started life as an MMO, yet the game would publish as a single-player RPG. While it's difficult to say exactly what changed throughout development, I do feel that the finished product proves that it is better as a single-player experience as opposed to an online one. While the original release doesn't hold up super well visually, Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning looks great. The world is colorful and vibrant, and the art is stylized. Characters look varied, and creatures are more unique than typical RPGs of the era. Weapons have cool designs and effects, while the armor options must be some of the best in gaming to this day. The music is fairly good, and it's seeming to have a bit of a mix between Lord of the Rings and Peter and the Wolf. While I don't think it's the best soundtrack, I think it works quite well for the theme, even though it can be a bit repetitive at times. If I were to describe the combat of Kingdoms of Amalur in one word, it would be fluid. There are numerous weapons, spells, and abilities that can be strung together, swapped, or changed whenever you wish. Everything just feels so good, as combos from one weapon can change depending on how you press its dedicated button. There are also dodges and counters, and it all blends so well. The surprising level of customization even extends to your skills, which can be changed whenever you want for a fee, or boosted at any time for free by the in-game fate cards, which are earned through achieving various levels in your 3 main skill groups. Despite having R.A. Salvatore and Todd McFarlane on the team, I don't think that Kingdoms of Amalur's story is good. While I'm not particularly familiar with Todd McFarlane's work outside of Soul Calibur 2, I have read a couple books from R.A. Salvatore. Unfortunately, this doesn't bode particularly well. R.A. Salvatore's main strengths are interesting characters and engaging combat. While the game's combat could easily reflect Salvatore's writings, the characters are about as bland as you would expect from an MMO. I think they had R.A. Salvatore mainly focus on the main story and lore, but unfortunately it's a generic chosen one plot. I'm not blaming Salvatore here, I just think that his talents were put in the wrong place. Quests are generic and bland too. I only really remember 1 or 2 that were all that interesting. Most of the other quests are what you would expect to find in any of the early 2000 MMOs available. Despite this, Kingdoms of Amalur is fairly accessible, with text dialogue being available in English, German, French, Italian, Spanish, Russian, Japanese, and simplified Chinese, and audio being available in English, German, and French. Difficulty can be changed at any point, and controls can be remapped. Unfortunately, the controller cannot be remapped. Kingdoms of Amalur is fairly convenient, with the original being available on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Re-Reckoning is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, and available digitally on Epic Games Store and Steam. The graphics settings are simple, but should allow for most users to play, even on older rigs. However, actually playing the game is more of a mixed bag. While combat is extraordinarily fun, in fact, it's some of the best I'd ever seen in gaming up until its launch. While magic is more limited than other games, it has enough variety and fluidity to make you want to experiment with it. Unfortunately, everything else is either mid or as generic as vanilla ice cream. Overall, I'd say Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning is a pretty good game, but I'm not entirely convinced it's all that memorable. It proves that combat isn't everything, placing it convincingly indecent on the A scale. So tell me what you think about Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning down in the comments. And if you liked this review, consider checking out my review on Skyrim Anniversary Edition and subscribe for more.